Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA, and yeah, we're here at a special restaurant called 130 Club here in Tenafly, New Jersey, and it's a really wonderful part of suburban New Jersey. But what's really wonderful about this restaurant is that this restaurant basically supposed to be like a carbon copy, like a clone of the exclusive and iconic Fort Charles Prime Rib. Now, some of you may have seen my video at Fort Charles Prime Rib, and you may know that that is hands down one of the best meals of my entire life. Eating there was like a small miracle. I tried to get in for 1 year straight, but me, Tina, and a couple of our good friends, we were able to get in there, and oh my goodness, I mean, I don't know if it was necessarily worth the crazy effort and the wait and the exclusivity to get in there, but it was a wonderful meal, and all I can say is that it was one of the best meals I've ever had in my whole life, period. And definitely the best steak I've ever had in my whole life. And you know how many steaks I've had, you know what a big deal that is. And you know, Tina and I found ourselves craving it, a few weeks after filming there. And we're like, I don't know, are we gonna have to wait a whole year, if not longer, to eat there? Who knows, right? But then we found out that actually, this place 130 Club was opened by the former head chef at Fort Charles Prime Rib, and he took everything that he learned and came here and opened 130 Club here in Tenafly, New Jersey, and it's supposed to be an amazing place. It's supposed to be a very similar menu, and as one of the staff told me on the phone when I called to make sure, they said it's quote unquote pretty much the same thing as Fort Charles Prime Rib. So we will see. And looking on the inside, it definitely has a Fort Charles Prime Rib vibe, only without that claustrophobia of Fort Charles Prime Rib. It's a much wider restaurant, a much more spacious restaurant, and because of that, not so exclusive. Part of the reason why Fort Charles Prime Rib is so exclusive and hard to get into is because there's only like 10 or so tables, while here, plenty of space, and the place just doesn't feel as stuffy and pretentious. I mean, at Fort Charles, I definitely felt a little bit, it was a little bit stuffy and condescending at times, but not so much here so far. But it's the food that matters, so let's take a look at the menu. So here we are at the 130 Club, and yeah, let's take a look at this menu, why don't we? And at a glance, it looks like there's a lot of similar items, I think. I may not remember the appetizers or the seafoods too well, but looking at the entrees, I don't remember if Fort Charles had a tomahawk, but I do remember that 22-ounce dry-aged ribeye. So one good thing about being here in New Jersey and not in New York City, $110, and I think Fort Charles was $130. So hopefully it's a similarly delicious steak, and yeah, $20 less, so can't say no to that. So we'll try that again, I think. I remember the brick chicken being on the menu at both places as well, and they got a few pastas, it looks like. And yeah, they got the 130 cheeseburger, the iconic Fort Charles Prime Rib cheeseburger, the iconic Au Cheval burger, and yep, it makes it a pretty penny, but it's a pretty good burger, so we'll try it here. That way we can compare the most iconic dish here, and then just showing you some of the sides here. At the top there, the bone marrow. I hear the amazing things about that bone marrow. The bone marrow here is supposed to be incredible for $28, so we'll try 2 familiar items and 1 new item. And I also want to show you the prime rib here, of course. They got an English cut, a queen cut. If I remember correctly, the prime rib at Fort Charles Prime Rib also had a Chicago cut, so tempting to get this again, but it's just me and Tina today, and not really feeling prime rib tonight. So I think instead of this, I think we'll do the 22-ounce dry-aged ribeye. And yeah, I think I recall that there was caviar service at Fort Charles as well. So anyways, let's order. By the way, apologies, I don't have footage of me ordering. Technical difficulty, I just forgot to turn the camera on, but instead, I'll show you this. Just the beautiful silverware, beautiful plates they have here. Definitely pretty nice. It's like eating off a plate fit for a king or something. So, yeah, just wanted to show you that.
You want to look at our private dining room?
Oh, sure, yeah. Oh, whoa. Secret entrance. Thank you.
So I'm going to cut this in half for you?
Sorry?
Cut it in half?
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry for the mess, y'all, once again.
It's okay.
Enjoy, y'all.
Thank you.
I don't think we ordered that.
Yeah, I don't think we ordered that meatball.
That's gonna be complimentary on the house, guys.
Oh, thank you.
I saw you guys got some really good stuff, but my favorite is the sleeper, the meatball, so I wanted you guys to try it out, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, you guys enjoy.
Thank you so much. Wow, did you guys hear that? They gifted us a meatball. We did not order that. We already ordered a lot of food. I mean, look at how huge this bone marrow already is, but now we also have a meatball on top of that. And, you know, we got our burger, our dry aged ribeye, and the salad is also way huger than I was expecting. So, wow, guys, quite a lot of food. So let's dig in, why don't we? Oh man, what should we eat first, guys? The dry aged ribeye looks pretty good, but it's already looking less perfect than that one that we had at Fort Charles. But maybe looks can be deceiving. And of course, the bone marrow, and I can see why this was highly recommended at both restaurants because it's looking pretty delish, if you ask me. The gifted meatball, the salad. Maybe let's just start with the burger since they did slice it already. So let's just dive into this first. All right, a bite of the iconic burger. Wow, that burger's really good. I might almost like that more than the Fort Charles one. Maybe it's just the fact that the Fort Charles one, I was there as a party of four, so they cut it into like fourths, so maybe that kind of, you know, changes how it tastes. Like, you know how sliders and burgers taste slightly different based upon like the size, like the ratio of food you put in your mouth, but really good. And this burger was really juicy. The ingredients on top are great too, like the thick cut bacon. Oh my goodness, like it's savory, greasy, but also not overkill. Like it's just, the egg is nice and runny, adds another flavor dimension to it, and probably also using Wagyu here because that meat is just so incredibly juicy, so incredibly fatty and delicious without just being like mindless overkill fat. Like it's balanced. I will say that the one thing that I don't think is exactly the same as Fort Charles and Au Cheval is the bun. Like the bun is a little bit fluffier, it seems like here. I don't know if maybe it's just luck of the draw, but it does seem like the bun is fluffier and not as flat. But it does seem like the bun is bigger, you know, or at least fluffier. But to be honest, I kind of like the new bun. Like I feel like the bun is fluffier and it kind of adds like a more of a pillowy texture enveloping the delicious, juicy Wagyu, probably Wagyu beef. So I feel like the Au Cheval burger is the best one I've ever had. I felt Fort Charles prime rib was pretty good, but not quite the same thing. This one is like better than the Fort Charles one, I think, but less good than the Au Cheval one. So very good. All right, let's take a look at the steak. Okay, we asked for medium rare. That appears to be more like a rare, I would say. It's seems to be you know, a little on the rare end. So let's take a piece that's a little bit more medium rare. Maybe this end piece. Yeah, this end piece is probably more like a medium rare than a rare. So actually, in this lighting, it almost looks more like medium. But let's cut a piece of this and give this a try. Okay. It's a very good steak. It's very good. Unfortunately, it suffers from comparison, I think. That Fort Charles prime rib was just literally perfect. I mean, that was like food of like the gods or something. It was like the perfect steak. This one, even just looking at the cook not quite being nailed, I kind of knew that it was going to be a notch below. It's got a lot of the great stuff from Fort Charles. I mean, it's juicy, it's well marbled, you taste that good dry aged flavor. But the thing is the fat is almost just not as evenly melted into it as at Fort Charles. Because at Fort Charles, every bite was like heaven. At this place, I mean, it tastes good, but something is missing. Whether it's the seasoning not being quite right or the cook not being quite, you know, quite to that perfect doneness, something is slightly off. The dry aged flavor is very strong though, I will say that, and I do enjoy the dry aged flavor on this guy. So let's try a bite of this more rare one. I actually don't mind rare steak at all. So give this a try. Oh, that's really good though. The second piece was better than the first piece. You taste like the marbling better, like the fat is not as cooked out of it. It's more juicy, more tender. You know, were I not comparing it to its predecessor, I would say this is fantastic. I would say this is among the best steaks I've had, and it is. I think this alone is probably one of the top 5 steaks I've had. But yeah, just something about the texture of it in your mouth is not the same as at Fort Charles. Has not quite been replicated, but very, very good nonetheless. Definitely one of the top 5 I've had for sure.
I do like the dried flavor, but not so much the texture. I had a bite of one of the pieces, and it almost feels a little too rare for me, like the texture-wise. It makes me not feel so good.
Yeah.
It also chewy too. Maybe it made it worse. I think it's mostly just the texture-wise.
Yeah.
Every other part I feel like is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, the flavor is good. And like, it's juicy. It's just, I don't know, like, some parts are slightly more rubbery, some parts are slightly crispier. So I don't know. All right, let's cleanse the palate a bit with the salad before we proceed with the other dishes. All right, let's try a bite of this. Okay. Salad's not bad, although I do find the dressing a little strong and a little bit sour and too acidic. So not a bad salad, a good palate cleanser, but yeah, the dressing is a little strong and there's slightly too much of it in my opinion, but not bad. All right, now next up, what we did not get to try last time, let's try this amazing bone marrow. And yeah, look at that delicious liquid gold. We're gonna be slurping up soon. Oh boy, look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at how incredible this fatty bone marrow is. Oh my goodness. I can just tell this is gonna be good. Let's eat a piece straight up first. Oh. Oh man.
Wait. Before.
Oh man. Oh, I thought I liked bone marrow before. That like, oh. Now if I ever go to Fort Charles, I want to get it there and see if it's as good there as here. If it's even better, I can't even imagine that. Like, that just took like the bar for bone marrow and like threw it on top of like the Empire State Building. That was, oh my goodness. It's just so buttery. Just look at that. Just look at how buttery that is. So oily, yet the top is like perfectly crisped up, like the way they baked it. Like there's almost like a bit of like a very, very slight caramelized layer on top, almost slightly crunchy, and the flavor of this fat is just out of this world. I mean, oh my goodness, it's like the perfect like spreadable, savory, buttery jam. So let's get some more of this. Spread some on this, and add a little bit of onion jam into the mix as well. So, okay, let's try it now. Oh. Holy smokes. That was one of like the top 5 bites I've had of food this year, period. Oh my goodness. One more bite of that and I'll break it down. Wow. And some of the onion jam. Cheers. Wow. Well, that's incredible. Let me break it down why that bite was one of the top 10 or 5 bites I've had this whole year. The bone marrow on its own is already incredible. Like the bone marrow on its own is just incredible if you like fatty, greasy, oily, like savory, fat butter flavor pretty much. I don't know how else to say it but that. Like if you just like that like delicious fatty flavor, similar to the flavor of the burger, but you know, thrown up a notch of like 10 degrees, then you'll like this. But that's where the onion jam comes into play. You add that onion jam in, and that onion jam, this whole thing is basically like a thicker caramelized onions. Like the onion jam has more savoriness, it kind of adds some texture, kind of like, I know this is gonna gross out some people who culturally don't eat this, but in Asian cuisine, if you ever eat seaweed, it kind of tastes like that, like seaweed, but okay, fine. If you don't really eat seaweed, then that's fine. I'll say, how about fruit roll-ups? We'll say that, okay? It kind of has like a sticky and like a savory, like kind of like a fruit roll-up texture in a way. And because this jam is kind of like caramelized onions. There's a bit of a sweetness as well, and the sweetness, it pairs perfectly with the savoriness, the butteriness of the bone marrow, and wow. And on top of that, this garlic bread is also pretty good too. You know, it's good quality garlic bread, so wow. I meant what I said, guys. This was one of the top 5 bites of food I've had all year. Wow. All right, so the last thing we're gonna try tonight, the meatball, which they recommended so much, they gave us one on the house, which was very, very nice of them. Just break off a piece of this guy. Oh, it's a little dense actually. It's kind of hard to cut. It's a little on the hard end. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell how good it is on the inside. I mean, meatballs kind of all look the same on the inside. I guess it seems like there's probably a mixture of meat, but I'm not sure, so.
The moment you cut it up, it has like a really good scent coming out of it.
Yeah?
I smell it.
Yeah, Tina's closer so she can smell it, so. Yeah, like a mix of savory flavors and spices, and the flavor of that tomato sauce is what you smell, so. Ooh. Mmm. Ooh, that's really good. Let me try another bite. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, I think that's one of the best meatballs I've had in my life. That was very, very good. Wow. I'm even trying to figure out what makes it good. Like,
there's not like really stand out, but like the whole thing works together.
it's a little spicy. There's like some spicy seasoning on the inside of it, on the inside and on the outside of the meatball. The meat blend is good. Like I think it's a blend of different meats, probably beef, I guess maybe pork, maybe veal or something. They're definitely mixing different meats to get like a complex flavor. And the sauce tastes good. Like the tomato sauce is like zesty, like it's sweet tomato. It's a little spicy almost, and this cheese on top of it too. Like the cheese on top has like a nice like funky flavor. Everything just combines perfectly. Yeah.
I feel like they probably use some very good breadcrumbs because it kind of tastes like that toasted bread flavor in it almost a little bit.
Yeah. Wow. That's good observation. Yeah. Something about it. It just tastes like more savory than just it's like good meat. It's like very meaty, very fatty. Like it has like a deeper savory flavor, right? Pretty good. Let me show you it again. Tina and I both agree that this is one of the best meatball dishes we've had in a while, maybe even ever. I mean, the cheese that they're using in the sauce, nice and funky and good quality. And the whole sauce is rather creamy, beyond just being like a simple tomato sauce. Like creamy, cheesy, and zesty and sweet tomato sauce. Well seasoned all around, inside and outside. So guys, fantastic meatball and very, very good. So anyways, we're having a good meal, so we're gonna finish eating and we'll share. Why can't I say that? We're share. Wow, guys, pretty good. So anyways, guys, we're gonna finish eating. Pretty good meal, so we'll finish eating and we'll share final thoughts outside. All right, guys, so I just finished eating at the 130 Club, and I'm just gonna share my final thoughts real quick. And yeah, I would say that, was it exactly the same as Fort Charles Prime Rib? Was it 1-to-1? No, it was not 1-to-1. It was not exactly the same, but what I will say is that it was very similar. The steak was definitely better at Fort Charles Prime Rib. At Fort Charles, that steak was hands down the best steak I've ever had in my whole life. But other than that, the other item that was the same as at Fort Charles, the burger, was better here, I felt. I mean, similar, but I thought it was higher quality. And yeah, I guess if I had to pick between the two in terms of just the food, I'd probably give Fort Charles the edge, but this place, guys, I would say very, very, very close. The student may not have surpassed the master yet. The predecessor may be a bit better, but I would say that this place is better in many other ways. One way that it's different is that beyond the food, the atmosphere was just better. The atmosphere at Fort Charles felt kind of like almost claustrophobic, like You know, the tables were so close together. It was a really tight space, really loud. Here, it was a more open space and yeah, more relaxing to eat there. And what also makes it more relaxing is that the service here was just way better. The service here was friendly, really pleasant. While at Fort Charles, I'll just be honest, it was kind of pretentious at times and even kind of rude at times. Like I felt like the place really gave you the impression of like, ooh, you know, this place is so fancy. You guys are so lucky to be eating here. Kind of, I don't know, kind of gave you that vibe. And so here you definitely get more pleasant service, and it just kind of makes for a more enjoyable experience in that way, in that regard. So, but anyways, guys, I think that's gonna be it. So we're gonna go home now, and we had a great meal. One of the best steakhouses I've been to. Comparing it to Fort Charles is difficult, but compared to just any steakhouse in the whole world, definitely still among the best steakhouses I've had in my whole life. So anyways, guys, have you eaten at 130 Club before? And have you eaten at Fort Charles? And what did you think of both of them? Let me know in the comments, because great minds eat alike. And as always, if you like my vids, like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. So we gotta head home now. So until next time, I'll see you later.